everyone. This is Amy, and I wanted to share with you this month a hopefully somewhat quick video of me editing this sunset from about a week ago. It's across the street from my house, and it's a lone tree, and I wanted to get this documented with a pretty sky, and finally there was some beautiful sunset with some beautiful clouds. So I wanted to silhouette it against it, and I got a great shot. However, someone decided it would be great to park a backhoe right here for several days, and I didn't want to keep waiting and keep waiting and keep waiting. And wouldn't you know, like 2 days after I took this picture, the backhoe was removed, but it's back, and hopefully somebody must be going to build there. I'm so bummed out. In the last few days, there's been some activity. So anyway, at least I got this though. I was hoping to get every season documented with this tree. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll let me walk in their yard, or I don't know. It'll all be mowed though. So anyway, different topic, different time. So anyway, I wanted to go through and edit to get from, this is my straight out of camera, obviously exposed mainly for the sky. My sun is still blown right here. You can see that it is blown. If I click on the highlight on the histogram, it is blown, but the rest of it looks pretty good. And as far as my shadows aren't completely clipped, so that's great. So I want to go from here. Eventually, this was my finished edit that I shared. I actually shared this in the picture share. So I thought I would share with you guys how I got through there. This is probably a better candidate to use the kind of better capabilities of Photoshop to clone out this tractor thing, but I did it in Lightroom and it looked pretty good. You wouldn't really know. There's a lot of repetition. I was able to salvage, the burst was still there, and so that's good. So anyhow, let's get started. I think the first thing I did, I'll hopefully be able to get it as close as possible, is to start working on the cloning of the tractor there. So I am going to get my healing tool here going. I'm going to take my feather down a little bit. It's about midway, and I'm just going to start piecing it off here. And I have a nice tree line right here that I will be able to take from, and it won't be super obvious, I don't believe, but we'll get it close to what my original edit was. So I'm just going to take little bits and pieces of this guy off, and obviously not try to repeat exact silhouettes and shapes of the tree line in the background on that horizon. So, oops, I got a little bit of that tree. I don't want to do that. Let's keep it small. I'm going to zoom in and get that a little better. Let's see. Okay, this is just some cloud that was in there in the sky anyway, that it wasn't from my clone. So let's keep on keeping on. I think we about got the tractor taken care of, so we don't want that repetitive piece. We don't want that blown bit right there. Let's go over here and see what we can do. There, that looks pretty good. If I look along this line here, the horizon, I have a little light pole that we're going to do. I don't want any repetitive close by little grassy things sticking up. Here's a post right here. I think that's the for sale post, maybe. Wish we could remove that permanently and completely. But there's that. And if we keep going, there's one more. I guess that's a light pole somewhere from someone's area on the road somewhere. So if we go back and we see, the only thing that really bothers me is somewhere in the distance out here in the country, someone was burning something and I was not able to remove that even in the finished product. Here it is, but I don't mind it as much just because it's part of the atmosphere, and all these striations in the clouds were really hard to try to match up. So I didn't take it into Photoshop to try it, so that's where we were. All right, so I think we have that taken care of. I am going to now deal with the exposure. I think what I did originally was use some linear gradients, and I wanted to deal with these shadows. I'm going to turn off that the red to I'm going to raise the shadows in there a little bit. I need to raise that up a hair. Bump the exposure a little bit. I am going to warm that up quite a lot. Again, I want to get that pretty high so that I'm getting all these shadows out here taken care of. I also want to saturate that just a little bit. I warmed it up, but I also want those greens to pop a little more. So I brought down the tint, brought up the temp, and then I also, in that linear gradient, I am bumping the clarity and the texture a little bit. So there we have that. That really brought out that sunburst nicely. I am going to do another, oops, didn't need to go out of that. I want to bring another linear gradient in and see where we're at with that. Bring that down. I want to bring up the highlights of the sky. I want to bring up some contrast in that sky. I'm going to bump the saturation quite a bit and really bring out those blues. I'm going to warm up the sky overall, and I'm going to, that looks pretty good. Let's look at the original. It's definitely not as intense or saturated as the original edit, but I'm going to deal with that in a minute. Yeah, I like it more saturated. I know it's pretty exaggerated and it's a little crazy and over the top, but that's how the sky is here quite a bit. Darn it, I keep going out. So I'm going to get a brush now, and I am going to bump the warmth a little bit. I'm going to bump the saturation, and I am going to paint that right on that line where that's the most intense orangey sunsetty area. I'm going to bump the tint just a little bit there as well. A little more clarity. That really made the clouds pop. That's looking pretty good. I am going to take a brush and get my texture bumped up. Oop, I didn't want that. Not exposure, texture. And blacks, I'm going to make the blacks a little more intense. I'm going to bump the contrast, and I'm going to go over the tree itself because I really want that to pop as a silhouette, as a blackened silhouette. So let's do that and intensify that darkness against that sky. And then I'm going to go down to the hue, saturation, luminosity panel and saturate those oranges a little bit. Maybe bring the reds to the orange a little bit. Bring up the reds a little bit. And I think we're getting real close. Yellows to the orange side. Yeah, I think we're getting there. Orange to the orange. So, okay, there's that edit, and here's this edit. So I think we're pretty close. I'm going to now, just in the basic regular old panel, I'm going to increase my texture there. I'm going to increase my clarity a little bit. Dehaze doesn't need touch. It's plenty crisp, wouldn't you say? I think I got those oranges a little too intense and the reds a little too burny. All right, I think we're real close to having it what it was. So anyway, there you go. Quick removal of the ugly tractor. Some other Horizon garbage that we had, some posts, some light posts, and some, I think that was it, light posts, a couple light posts and a sign over here. But I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions at all, just that was, again, real basic, but it took it from here, pretty, but kind of to, let's see, come on, it's slow. There it is. To pretty impressive. Let's take off that highlight warning here, our clippage, or our blown highlight there where the sun was. So anyway, hope you like it. Thanks for watching and have a great day, guys. Bye.